Mastering Aesthetics, a definitive guide to visual impact. Join us on a journey to break down the art form of creative design and unmask the secrets of visual and verbal power to control what goes on behind the creative process, where I unmask a system of principles, controls, and tools that will allow you to master design aesthetics. The essence of design. Not to appreciate the great design and the beauty of aesthetics is to be blind to a wealth of human vitality that drives passion, inspires people, and motivates sales. Great design is what has made Ralph Lauren, Eddie Bauer, Calvin Klein, Enzo Ferrari, Coco Chanel, Louis Comfort Tiffany, Martha Stewart, Paloma Picasso, Henry Ford, and hundreds of others very wealthy business tycoons. Each has harnessed the great design into inspiration that motivated millions to part with their money. Steve Jobs has earned his place and is aesthetics master of the century, quietly amassing a fortune with his well-designed Apple products. Great design flows through every aspect of an Apple product, from the user interface down to the software and silicon chips. The effect of design has on our surroundings is profound. We design what surrounds us, and in turn, design defines us. Man is the creator of change in the world. As such, he should be above systems and structures and should not be subordinate to them, says Steve Jobs. Design. Design is a visual form of communication commanding the intellect to comprehend ideas by converging organized information with purpose. Great design may be transparent or engaging. Poor design may be non-functional and confusing. Design is a very old profession. Great minds over the centuries like Pythagoras of Samos, Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo Pisano, Fibonacci, Alphonse Mucho, Frederick Gaudi, and many others have formalized our understanding of the principles of design and uncovered many of its underlying secrets. The function of design is to assemble, order, edit, add meaning, value, and clarity, to persuade, to amuse, to evoke, to educate, alert, compel, and communicate or connect. Great design resonates of simplicity, clarity, and magnetism, flowing from the core of a message or brand to create a memorable impression that engages or motivates people into action. This video series was specifically created to provide marketing and creative professionals with an understanding of the creative process and to provide insight into the principles, controls, and tools used to engineer design and aesthetics. The universal threads of creativity. Creativity surrounds us in our daily lives, yet unless we look closely and try to understand it, we may never connect the dots to see how it actually works. All forms of art are in a way similar to the many different tongues of the Romantic language. While Spanish and French use different words in communication, they share common ways or tools in which they express themselves. Such is true in painting, sculpture, theater, dance, poetry, music, and architecture. All these forms communicate using similar principles, rules, and form. But without translation, they appear not to be connected. Shape, line, space, color, texture, value, contrast, and light are the elements that define our visual world. These are to visual expression what notes, forte, pitch, measure, and rhythm are to music. Simply thrown together, they create chaos. Organized by the laws of harmony, balance, and rhythm, they elicit meaning. Style. Specific periods in our history are known for their dominant style du jour. Classical music from the period of Beethoven aligns stylistically with the classical formal dance and architecture of the day. The 1960s psychedelic style reverberates yet today, from Peter Max's paintings to Jimi Hendrix riffs. I was once fortunate enough to hear the great Jerry Lee Lewis play the same song consecutively in several different styles, first as a blues, then as a country song, and again in true rockabilly style. The melody remained the same in all these versions, yet Lewis artfully used rhythm, tempo, and style with an arrangement as tools to adapt each rendition into a completely different musical style with its own flair and bravado. Voice. Imagine three different voices reading the same poem: a man, a woman, and a child. Each time, the same words are read, but the inflections, meaning, and feeling is rendered uniquely by each voice. Now imagine the same poem executed with a tool from another art form, say music. We will use the same inflections and tonality previously rendered by the human voice. The flute may share commonalities with the voice of a child, such as pitch and tempo. A violin would evoke similar tonality with a woman, while the bass drum may share commonalities with the voice of a man, such as power and authority. Execution. Each art form has its own unique voice, be it executed by pen, viola, paint, drum, tap shoe, or thread. Any art form may be performed within a given style, be it primitive, impressionistic, modern, surrealistic, nouveau, or any other given period or cultural style. Tools. All mediums of creativity share commonalities. Writers and musicians may both execute their craft in a similar style of expression, but each uses different tools to accomplish their task. A jazz musician may use his saxophone to influence a writer to write a raw stream of consciousness style. The writer and musician both execute in similar style, but use different tools to accomplish their task. When sound elements are organized into groups, they create music. When visual elements are organized into groups, they create design. Emphasis. In music, pitch contains 50% of the musical information. Rhythm contains 40%, and timbre or loudness holds the balance. In visual design, contrast contains 50% of the visual information, color 40%, and image contains the balance of 10%. Choreography. While the voice of each art form is different, the style executed across many forms may be similar. This is what choreographers do as they organize several art forms into a coordinated, pleasing manner. So dance, theatrics, music, stage settings, actors, lighting, costumes all work together in concert with synergy and playing off each other. As a designer, your responsibility is that of the choreographer for your brand. Unity of voice. As you build your brand, you will choreograph your brand's customer touchpoints into one cohesive, unifying voice, reflecting a similar message and style across several media, from packaging to sales collateral, web presence, and even how you answer the phone. Together, these create a unified and orchestrated brand performance. Art is math. Numbers contain an inner beauty that define everything around us, from the design of a snowflake to the shape of a pine cone, and even the structure of our veins within our bodies. The reflective nature of the equations below that I'm going to show you visually illustrate the DNA that dictates all organic patterns and why fractal mathematics is the universal language for interpreting design in nature. This is also the mathematics, the foundation of Photoshop. Authenticity. Look at Picasso's paintings side by side with tribal African wood sculpture, and you'll begin to understand how the same style is created using different tools and different medium. Each style has its own self-evident boundaries based upon historical authenticity. A drum, traditional primitive instrument, is where a tuba is not. Artists seeking new sounds and new ways to expand the boundaries of established style attempt to arrange paintings and styles and tools and interchange them. Art form. In art, there are rules, I bet many unseen to the untrained eye. One may juxtapose these rules, bending them and conflicting them without regard, but a price will be paid in the end result. A master artisan may break a rule or two in the creation of a masterpiece, as they innately know the rules and how to finesse the system. Such is the beauty of an art form versus a science. Join us on a journey to discover aesthetics, the visual art form. When you finish this series, you'll have the knowledge you need to master visual aesthetics.